Hello and welcome, dear human family, to part one of the Gnostic Investigation, taking down the paedo-satanic criminal network. With us, the Gnostic Takeover, Steve and
Errol Kaya.
Stephen Wybrow and Errol Kaya. And we already have started an interview series with Liz also. However, today we want to get into the nuts and bolts of this investigation that we have been informed by planetary intelligence that because of the nature of this network, the police, the FBI, and the CIA are part of the network, and they cannot do this investigation, so therefore it is up to us as mavericks coming from outside of the system to get to the bottom of this crime, because when we solve this crime, we solve the problem.
Yep.
And therefore, we want to head right into the slides. We've got a lot to cover. We head right into it, I would say. This Gnostic investigation is determined to take down the entire paedo-satanic criminal network. It is the only solution that we have to this genocide that has been taking place since longer than 2020. However, in 2020, it has come into the Western world. That's all that has happened. So, as Gnostics, we heal the cause of the problem. We heal the problem from the root level of the problem. And that's where we delve into pedophilia and Satanism that lies at the heart of this criminal network. We want to start by stating explicitly, I am the law.
So am I.
Errol Kaya and Stephen Wybrow are the law.
We are the law.
This is what I realized, is that it is about finding out what true law is and finding out about the true dynamic of natural order that will take down these megalomaniacs, these psychopaths that in their demented mind think they can take over this planet. However, they have a problem, they have a big problem in the form of protectors of this planet. And that's where I want to talk with you also, Errol, on the subject of Ayavision 22 and Philip Fessbaum, because we are setting the law here, Philip. All right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, we are. Well, I think we shall begin from the beginning of the story of our experience in Ayavision 22, which is based in a town called Moln, Molln, in Austria. And this is an ayahuasca retreat. Okay, guys? And the person who runs this ayahuasca retreat, his name is Philip Fessbaum. You can go on their website. You can go and check them out. They advertise online. You know, they've got their own page. We were taken there by the network, I would say, back in, was it May? Last May, we were taken there by the network. And the deal was that I, as someone who works with the plant medicine, as a shaman, will be working in this retreat center. to support the owner of this retreat center, the guy who runs it, Philip, because apparently he needs some support. That's the story. So I thought to myself, yeah, why not? I'll go and check it out. So I was taken there by one member of the network and introduced to Philip. And the way the interaction was the deal was that I would stay there on the retreat because it's a big retreat center. That's what I was told. And I'll be working there. And I would be getting paid for the job and food and everything, and just to support the guy because he's just newly setting it up and he needs to get it up and running. So I thought it's a good deal. I'll go. Why not? It's my job as someone who works with the medicine. It's good to support people build these places up so that people can have access to the medicine as they're called, right? That's the way I think as a clean, intended, clean heart human being, right? So I went there and had a little conversation with the owner, and the member of the network who took me there said to Philip, oh, by the way, Errol is staying here. That's all right, yeah, he's staying here. And Philip was like, oh, okay. That's a little bit weird, isn't it? It's like you take someone to somebody's house who doesn't even know you, who doesn't even know that person, right? And you just tell them, oh, by the way, this guy, he's going to stay here from now on.
Who was that person who we're referring to who brought you there?
Heinz Zinke. So what are we looking at here? Hierarchy? Heinz Zinke above Philip Festbaum, the owner of the retreat, telling the owner of the retreat, Philip, I'm going to drop you, that he's going to stay here from now on. And he just agrees to it. If you say so, okay. It didn't make sense to me in the first place, when it happened. But now, obviously, the picture is clear of what's going on here. So I ended up staying there, and we did a ceremony that evening. It was a cacao ceremony, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing. And the next day we did another ceremony with ayahuasca. And then the day after that we did another one, didn't we? And that's where it all kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
So second ceremony, you sure it wasn't the first ceremony? Or was it the second ceremony? I think it was the first ceremony, to be honest with you. Basically what this guy did was, we started the ceremony and we all drank the medicine. However, okay, he didn't drink the medicine, Philip. And what happened was, he said, once we drank the medicine and the ceremony began, he said to me, I'm going to go home now and I'm going to get some water. So he's going to drive for 15 minutes to get some water from his house. And then he said, I'm going to take a mushroom. And I'm thinking, what? You can't do this in ayahuasca ceremony, mate. But because I'm new there, you see, just my first night, first ceremony, I'm like, okay. It just didn't come to me at that moment to say, what the fuck are you doing? So I was like, okay, well, I'll take care of the place anyway. I'm in charge of the ceremony here, so don't worry about it. Like an idiot. So he came back, high on mushrooms. And then he gets up and he starts doing black magic on people with his hand. He starts touching them and doing all this stuff. The first person he goes to is Steve.
Touches me directly during the ceremony.
And then he goes over to a lady. And then he goes to the wizard and Steve, Christoph, Elga, and Steve, who are laying next to each other. And then Steve, obviously, he reacts. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? What happened there, Steve?
As just a self-defense kicked in, and I told him to back off during the ceremony. This is a guy running the retreat center touching people during the ceremony.
Yeah, it turns out that the archons were working through him to harvest energy, and that's what they do on this retreat. On this retreat, guys, they harvest people's energies. And I was there for 2 months, and I never seen him once drink the medicine, even though he was present with me, sitting next to me in almost every single ceremony. I was running the ceremonies, drinking the medicine, doing the work. And this guy was sitting next to me without drinking the medicine, capping the medicine, serving half the medicine. I mean, I tell this story in previous videos. I don't want to go into detail now because we've got a lot to cover. And basically, due to the response to how Steve reacted in the ceremony, just basically told him to fuck off. What do you think you're doing? You don't touch people in the ceremony. What are you doing?
And after, like during the ceremony, there's like a bubble that's created for the whole ceremony for all the people, a bubble of perception.
Yeah.
And I busted that bubble. I could see what was going on in that place. So I was the first to see beyond the veil of what is presented as a normal ayahuasca retreat center. I could see that that retreat center is being run by Satanists, part of this paedo-satanic criminal network, because Satanism, okay, he was practicing black magic directly with the use of his hands and touching me. Satanism goes hand in hand with pedophilia.
Satanism is pedophilia. Pedophilia is Satanism.
Exactly, those two are equivalent to each other. So I started confronting Philip directly at the retreat center after the ceremony. I was asking questions. Next thing you know, your wife, Philip, Karin Festbaum, comes into the retreat center because I guess there's a problem. I suppose one is not allowed to ask any questions when you got something to hide. So Karin starts psychologically profiling me and asking me questions like, so how was your relationship to your mother? How is your relationship to your father? How is your relationship to your parents? Psychological profiling. I told her to fuck off. I've got questions here. And that's just my involvement.
Yeah, they're allowed to question you. You're not allowed to question them. So you have to leave their property.
Yeah.
So what happened was Steve had to leave, and I ended up staying because the deal was that I stay there to work anyway. So I kind of had an insight to what was going on there, and I knew I had to stay, which I did. So I kept my cool, and I was okay to stay to further investigate. And I was there for 2 months. And like I said, I never saw this guy drink the medicine once, fooling everybody, not me. And the medicine was telling me, Errol, look at what this guy is doing. Look, you see, this is what he's doing. Errol, you're going to have to do something and tell him at some point. So slowly started hinting to him, asking questions and hinting to him, okay? And finally, I really upped the ante. I put the pressure on him. And I was like, Philip, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore, man. What's going on with you? And obviously, he didn't like it. They didn't like it. Then his wife got involved because he was running to his wife. Errol is saying this, Errol is saying that. Then his wife got involved, started sending me long messages on the mobile phone because she couldn't face me face to face. And in the end, they decided basically that we did one last ceremony at the end of the 2-month stay period. And the message, what I was seeing, what was going on there, wasn't only coming from me. It was coming from another lady too, who started to work with us there within the last weeks. She began to see it as well. As well as one of his clients. So now there's 3 of us ganging up on him and asking questions. What's going on here, Philip? What are you doing here? This isn't right. So it was too much for them because their skeletons were coming out. So guess what happened? It was time to get rid of Errol. He's becoming dangerous. Get rid of him. So he doesn't bring up our skeletons. So that's what they did. They got rid of me, and but I saw enough what I needed to see, and have all the information now. Made all the connections, and I continue to work with the medicine myself properly with Steve, and we've had some very, very, very strong insights with the medicine in ceremony regarding the network ever since. So we've connected the dots, and today we would like to talk about this.
We will definitely talk about all of that. We're going to expose everything and every single one part of this network. It's a clean operation, and this is what we're tasked to do. The police, the military, so-called intelligence agencies, listen to this. We represent planetary intelligence, the source of all life, intelligence, divine order,
divine natural order.
We, meaning me and Errol, as the Gnostic takeover, are tasked to take down the entire paedo-satanic criminal network.
Licensed by planetary intelligence, the powers of the land.
Because no one within this system and all the people trapped in the system, okay? Are you listening? All of the policemen, all of the people in the military, you cannot do the job that we're doing because we're tasked to do it. And no one throughout creation is authorized to stop us, because the authorization is directly from the source to planetary intelligence to us.
All you guys are afraid to question the people who pay your wages and your salary. That's why we come in to do the job, because we ain't got shit to lose and we're not afraid. We're dealing with the boss of your boss of your boss of your boss of your boss, the highest. That's who we're dealing with. Yeah? That's why we don't give a fuck. We go all the way. We ain't got nothing to lose. We're fully protected, first of all, by ourselves and the powers of the land and the powers and the forces of the one and only source that created everything. That's what's behind us. And on top of that, us going public with this is extra protection. We don't hide. We're transparent. We name names. We tell the story publicly, and we name names. And for anybody who wants further proof, we're going to get it for you. This is how it comes. This is a part of a long investigation. It's the beginning of it. We're at the call-out phase at the moment. We're calling them out. In the end, they're going to have no choice but to face us, sit with us, and speak with us. But
however,
these people
under
our command, when we decide, not you, Philip. You don't tell me when to come and collect my motorcycle, and that if I don't by this date, you're going to take it to this address, and then you're going to take it to this address. You take my motorcycle back to Mole and you put it back in your garage. I command you to. You're trespassing on my property. Take responsibility. Because I have more on you than you have on me. You have nothing on me. You already broke the law by making me work for you in your so-called retreat for 2 months without a salary. Where's the contract?
And we have witnesses to that.
So you take my bike and you stop fucking around with our energetics and getting in touch with his mom and this person and telling them you're going to take the bike to them and this and that. You take it back to Malm and you put it in your garage. That garage is empty. And that garage is bigger than an average house you got there. And it's empty. And it's nice and dry, perfect for my bike. And it does you no harm for the bike to be there. So quit playing victim, because we're going to come and see you soon and we have a lot of questions to ask. And it's all going to be on camera, Philip. Okay?
Because we have nothing to hide. This is the reason why we do the investigation as High Commanders of planetary intelligence. We have the camera running at all times. We have nothing to hide. That's why we do the job. And see, I want to say this, Philip. I know who you are, okay? You're a low-level initiate. If you continue to get into contact with anyone of our family, you're going to suffer the consequences for that.
Poison their minds.
You're not authorized to do any of it, and in actual fact, it just continues to pile up the evidence we have on you. So the story is not going to make sense why you keep getting in touch with Steve's mom when no one has asked you to. So
don't even know her.
We're going to go to the nuts and bolts of all of this, okay? That's why we say, I am the law. All right, Philip. You are initiating controversy by wanting to move Errol's bike that is Errol's property. Errol decides what happens with his property, and he has not authorized you to do any of it, to move it anywhere. The bike stays in your garage until further notice. Okay? Moving on, before there was a verbal agreement between you and Errol to have the bike in your garage. There is no contract that legitimizes and authorizes you to move the property of Errol Kaya anywhere. Therefore, when there is no contract, you have no evidence to support your actions, which makes you privately liable, because when you enforce this order, we consider this, and Errol considers this, as trespass on his property. And when you move it anywhere, we set the law that if the property of Errol's bike is not in your garage and stays in your garage and is moved somewhere else, we set the law that this is a trespass in the amount of 20,000 euros plus €1 for every minute where the bike is being kept somewhere else. So this is where the law is set, Philip. I am the law. You set the law before anything happens. And when you do not have evidence to back up your actions, then you are in private liability, mister. You have now hereby been informed.
You know my situation, Philip. You put me on the street because you didn't like what I was telling you, okay? Since the beginning of last August, basically, I've been unstable, without an address, without a permanent place to stay. I lived in a hut for 2 months. Then I went to St. Corona. Then I was here, there, on the mountains. You know I do not have access to a safe place for my motorcycle. When you have, you at least owe me that place for my motorcycle, Philip. Okay? I gave you everything, you gave me nothing. All for free it was. All for free. No contract, no salary, no nothing. That in itself is against the law. If you want to speak about the law to me, that's why we preach the law to you. Okay? You shut it and you take my bike back and you put it back into your garage. Now!
I want to make clear, Philip, that the law doesn't work on complaining like you are, because the only thing you have is complaining. That is legalese, all right? That is not the law. Complain, play victim. That legalese, the world of your complaining like a little child, is superseded by the law. And the law works on claims. And we're going to press those claims, all right? We are setting the law here right now with the claims we are making, with all the evidence to back up in the form of witnesses, and the lack of any contract for Errol working in your retreat center, and no contract that authorizes you to move his property anywhere. So when there's no contract, we set the law that you are not authorized to put the motorcycle anywhere. 20,000 euros is here set if it is moved anywhere else, plus €1 per minute where that motorcycle, the property of Errol, which Errol has full authority and ownership over. That law is set.
Deal done. Simple. And Philip, we know your connections. Okay? We know your connections to the network. We're not saying you are running a network, Philip. You can't even run an ayahuasca retreat. The network is running you. That's what we are saying. And you're a part of it. Willingly, unwillingly, consciously, subconsciously. Whether it all operates on a multidimensional level and works with alters or not, you're a part of it. And it's your responsibility to recognize what I have been trying to tell you for the 2 months that I was there wasting my fucking energy and breath. It is time to face your reality, because the powers of the planetary intelligence and the medicine are finally catching up with you. I told you this will come to haunt you in the future. You have to face it.
So we move on from here to expose the players and the workings of this network. So I want to pick up the story here. As you can see in this picture, I was doing public speeches for 1 year at the Hauptplatz, the main square in Linz.
City of Linz.
I wasn't going on this platform. I wasn't going and taking this platform and express the information that I've worked on for 12, now reaching 13 years. I didn't use this platform to talk about COVID, because it has never been about any illness. It is that the war is reaching a climax, and it's the war between good and evil, light and dark forces. So I use this platform to expose the workings of this paedo-satanic criminal network. I was calling them out on the stage. And I was talking about liability. That the COVID measures, the rules and regulations are not law. Every single one of them is uninsurable, cannot be insured, and that is why the entire political arena and all its players, namely politicians, enforcing those quote-unquote laws that are not laws but mandates, they're all privately liable. And that's the reason why all of these mandates have no signature. Everyone's privately liable, and liability, meaning responsibility, ends the entire takeover bid of this satanic criminal network. It ends it. And that is why I moved up the echelons, not dealing with politicians, not dealing with the police, not dealing with anyone on that level of the control structure, but with the paedo-satanic criminal network directly. And we have two people here that are part of this network, Fritz and Christoph, who were part of the organization team in Linz. So why do I say that? This is as an introduction for the text that we got today. And Errol received that text today.
Yep.
So Joachim Walchshofer, I got to know on the 1st of January in 2021. That was the event in Linz where for the first time it was about 4,000 people showed up on the main square. I also talked on the stage there. I exposed the Jeffrey Epstein paedo-satanic criminal network being exposed through Ghislaine Maxwell. That has been all across the news. All right, this network is the single one thing that needs clearing, and this is what we're doing. And it links from the Epstein connections with Ghislaine Maxwell into the intelligence agencies of Israel, into the intelligence agencies of Austria, Wiener Sumpf, Club 45. We're exposing the whole lot of you. Your time is over. And on the 1st of January, I was introduced to a guy called Joachim Walchshofer. So, Errol, could you please read the message that was sent to you today, which shows this network revealing? Because before today, we had no information that Joachim is connected to Philip. But out of the blue, he writes this to us.
They have to reveal now because they have no access point to get to us now. So they have to push their last, use my bike. And here we go. What he says is, "Hey Errol, yesterday I got the information that your bike was brought to my friend's house by Philip Vespa and that he wants to bring it further to Steve's parents' house after speaking to them. What fucking right does he have to do that? Just want to share this information with you because it's your property. Damn right it is, bet your ass. And as I tried to say to Liz and Steve, I will support you in the way I can. Wonder why you want to do that after all these months. Take care, Joe. P.S. We know each other, and I'm a better known of Steve and Liz. That's his English, obviously. Yeah.
There's
Connected. It's a network. Where the hell does this guy know Philip from? Where the hell does Philip know this guy from? It's a network. When Philip's story was, I'm not into fighting this system and I stay away from, I'm against these demonstrations and I just go into my peace.
Well, why did you do an interview on the COVID situation with Dr. Belsky in Vienna, a known dentist? And we're going to talk about this later also. So, yes, we move forward. So this is the retreat center. Do you want to speak about that? This is how it looks like. It looks pretty nice, doesn't it?
They have to make it look presentable on surface level to lure the victims into it, you know. And these guys run the ayahuasca and the medicine retreats and the shamanic practices across Europe so that they can put a cap on any authentic, original, real medicine person who comes forward. to practice his or her crafts. So everybody's got to come through their net. They make sure they have a net to catch these people and recruit them and harvest them so they work for them and put a cap on their true potential with the medicine. But it didn't work with me, Philip. It didn't work with me, did it?
And also one of the main reasons is to catch people like me and Errol who are not corruptible, and to get us into the network, and as in the case of Errol, get Errol locked up in a quote-unquote asylum camp, a concentration camp, either exterminate him or at least deport him back to England, which got busted by the knowledge about the freaking law that I have. That's why I say I am the law. And me and Errol together is your worst nightmare.
Death sentence.
It's death sentence in the sense that we bust the entire criminal network. So they wanted to catch us in the net because in order for us never to reach the point where me and Errol have our own space where we work with the medicine together, about which we talk about later also, what we're going to do with the medicine, because she's giving us direct instructions into how to take down the entire network. So let's take a look at these players here.
Jeez.
Yeah, of course, white and colorful. They're light workers. They will definitely will present themselves as light workers. Okay, here to the right, we have a guy called Carl.
Black beard, black hair.
And he has his roots in Thailand, as one can see. Looks very nice. Oh, and we can do cacao ceremony. Oh, and lovely. It's like new agey cagey.
Yep.
And to the left, we've got Philip here. Oh, yeah, he would present himself as having like Celtic roots. Oh, yeah, and maybe a little bit Irish or a little bit Scottish, ending up here in Austria.
Yep. He looks very like peaceful guy, doesn't he, Steve?
Yeah.
However, he wouldn't let anybody know that he also is a weapons designer for an Israeli arms company who sells weapons to be used in wars that kill innocent people all over the third world countries in the Middle East, right? At the same time, claims to run an Ayahuasca Retreat.
I think I can see a conflict of interest between using plant medicine that is here for healing purposes, and in the case of me and Errol, healing the planet and getting rid of all evil. There seems to be a conflict of interest between working with ayahuasca medicine for healing purposes, as is claimed on the website, and being involved with an arms manufacturing company in Israel.
Who have an outlet, the depot in the Salzburg, Austria.
And this is catching up with you, Philip, big time.
Oh, yeah.
So, it looks a little bit different when we take a look at this picture. Oh, he's connected to nature. Is that what the picture should symbolize?
Philip, you have no idea what nature is, my friend. You have no idea what nature is. You have nothing to do with nature, apart from the fact that you sit cross-legged in long grass and stroke some flowers. If you knew what nature was about, Philip, if only you knew what the principles of the otorongo, the black jaguar, and the eagle, and what true nature is, you would be running, and you are soon going to find out.
It's a gateway to the cesspit, and it's not the only gateway. It's one of the gateways to the cesspit.
You mean this guy?
Yeah.
Not nature, guys. Philip.
Yeah.
We're talking about Philip now. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Not nature, of course. And there's many gateways. However, as Errol's properties with you right now, just so happens that we're talking about you today. However, we will be talking about you, Heinz Zinke, also very soon.
Big connections there, him too.
Yeah.
He's got some big connections, and we will be questioning you very soon, Heinz. Be prepared. We know your connections. Oh my God.
Moving further along, here is evidence that, well, let me quote Philip in his own words. Am I allowed? It's good if I do that?
Yeah, of course.
Thanks to you. So this is a message written by Philip.
About 3 weeks ago now, when we were on the street, literally.
Yeah. From Philip to Errol. Thanks to you, I cut the connections to the dark. Well, Philip, I thought there was no dark. I thought it was all light. And you're not running some stupid fucking network.
Yeah.
Cutting connections to the dark. So that is proof, Philip, that you have had, and we would claim you still have, connections to the dark. To the quote-unquote paedo-satanic criminal network. That is the dark. Thank you, brothers. Well, you don't decide when your learning lesson is over, because the learning lesson has just started. We've not even come close to it.
Hasn't even begun yet.
Exactly.
Begun yet.
This is just the introduction phase. To the next message. Also, I will stop to attack you in any way. I thought you didn't. You were full of light.
So now it's openly admitting, finally, that he has been attacking us. How? Spiritually, energetically, fucking witchcraft. Bingo.
And then there is nothing to fear anymore. Well, that most certainly applies to me and Errol, because we live in moral code, acting according to the instructions we have by planetary intelligence, who has the instructions from the source directly that created you, Philip. That's what we're here to do. So shall we listen to the voice message above from Philip? And we've got all the evidence.
This was around 3 weeks ago.
Hello, Ariel. This is Philip. Hello, Ariel. This is Philip. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for the mirror. Thank you for the clear mirror. I just saw my connections yesterday evening with the dark forces, which were not conscious. And I disconnected everything. I disconnected it energetically and physically. So what I did now, all the projects I'm working on, all the projects I'm working on as a developer, I'm done with it. I don't pull these energies in anymore, because these energies, they feed the things that we don't want to manifest in the new world. I won't block you anymore here, of course, because this shows up that I have resonance. And I want to find a solution with the bike. I have the feeling that the teaching is complete. Yeah, I was thinking to bring your things to Walter. I am in Salzburg at the moment. If you can send me his address or a contact of him, I can drop your stuff there, and your bike will be dropped later if he's willing to take it. Otherwise, please tell me any other location and where we can do this. And also one thing, you showed up to me is that to be really straightforward, which how we act and how we talk, and the things which we don't need anymore, like this, also the petrol machines, also the battery machines, which is harming our mother. Yeah, we should let go, like I let go of this business which is hurting our planet, our species, our brothers and sisters. Okay guys, yeah, I wish you all the best, and yeah, looking forward to a new world. Have a nice day.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So what he meant, because there's a reason why it starts on January 15th, the messages, because it looks like someone has got something to hide, because all of the previous messages were deleted.
Yeah.
Were they deleted by you, Errol?
Nope. By Philip himself.
So does that mean that Philip might, because we need to consider the possibility that he's got something to hide?
Well, when we first confronted him that he's a part of a paedo-satanic network, whether he's aware of it or not, okay, he outright denied it. And he was even angry. He defended himself very strongly. How dare you, right? And now all of a sudden, in this message, as all of you can hear, he was demanding evidence. Where's your evidence? Where's your proof? Yeah? He was denying. Where's your evidence? Where's your proof? Well, Philip, here's some evidence and proof of you admitting, confirming what we've been telling you. And this is just the beginning of the evidence, Philip. There's more to come, because we will be questioning you face to face with a camera. And this is how you do it, guys. You question them and you film it with evidence. When you question them and you continue questioning them, when you know how to ask questions and which questions to ask, their altars eventually break down and they reveal themselves for what they truly are. And this is what's going to be the case with you as well, Philip, as well as the rest of the network.
We're going to pull all of that evidence out like you pull out a thread, and the entire network comes unraveling. So, this is also interesting. Take a look at the symbology here. Okay, we've got the eye here. Looks like the eye of Horus. And the symbology is always important to point out, obviously. And here, this is on Facebook. It says here, dieser Inhalt ist derzeit nicht verfügbar. So what happened was Ayavision 2020 used to be
22.
Ayavision 22. I keep saying 2020 for some reason. Ayavision 22 used to be publicly available and an open Facebook site that the public, anyone from the public, could visit in order to find out on Facebook about Ayavision and what they have to offer. However, in the last 2 weeks since we last checked, this has been set from public into private. So only private individuals have access on Facebook to what they have to say.
Because they're afraid of something, aren't they now? They're afraid of that there are some people out there now who know what we are actually doing and what we're actually about. So we've got to be very careful who we let in now, because we're just on the verge of being busted by these people. And here we are, Philip. Here we are. You fuck around with the powers of nature and the powers of being, they will take everything from you. You had your opportunity to come clean. You chose to ignore and continue. Well, Now it's time to face the consequences for your action, as well as it's time to face our consequences for our actions. We ain't got shit to hide. As you can see, we're transparent. How about you, Philip?
Moving on, when you go on the website, they have a nice offering, Errol. Between the 25th and the 27th of this month in February, for the price of just €636, they're having an ayahuasca retreat.
I mean, fuck me, Philip. That's half a month's salary for an average person. You know that. Who are you to put a price tag on nature, on medicine? This work is priceless, man. It's an abomination unto the spirit of the medicine, to Mother Earth. And you claim to be a medicine man who runs a retreat. You don't even sit with the fucking medicine. You're afraid to, because if you drink the medicine, she will slay the shit out of you. And look at the altar.
Yeah, you see Shiva in the background there. And to the right, it's a little bit into the white. When you see to the right here, you've got the skull.
Yeah, his story would be, oh, it's a balance between life and death.
No, that's getting death into the ceremony. The spirit of evil, the spirit of wickedness. And we are the personification, the incarnation of the ayahuasca spirit in the form of two human beings telling you that this retreat ain't gonna happen, Philip.
Exactly. You have no authority. You have no permission. You have no license to run retreats anymore. Your works, the medicine will turn against you.
And let's see what the future holds for this one. We leave all options open because we do what we want, because we do what's the right thing to do. And your use of the medicine in the form of mind control and black magic is not allowed anymore under the authority that's been given to Stephen Wybrow and Errol Kaya by planetary intelligence.
We take action upon moral code, Philip. Moral code. Do you even know what they are? You have no idea even what moral codes are, let alone to have them. Which is why your actions are based on immorality. The only thing you care about is yourself and what's in it for you and your family. And you couldn't care about anyone else or anything else. This is the definition of Satanism, Philip. This is what's coming back to you now. As long as I'm okay, I don't give a fuck about anyone else and my surroundings. I'm okay. It's not my problem. Yeah? That's Satanism. In opposed to what we are doing here, selflessly, exposing this shit. Selflessly. So that they all turn against us. What are you doing? What we're doing is real medicine work, man. What are you doing? Masturbation. With the medicine, with the divine. What the fuck?
And this is payback time. And I just want to point out that this is the very reason, okay, for all of you guys out there in the network, when you ask yourself the question, why do these guys know this? How do they know that we're Satanists? Because we know. It's because of the psychology. Me, 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 me. It's just me, my family. Me, me, me.
It's obvious what you guys are and what you're doing. How can we not know? The reason why we know, Philip, you want to know why we know? Before we came to this world, this life, this reality, we made the conscious decision to come here, incarnate here on this earth right now, to do this job, to clean this mess up, as protectors, guardians, and preservers of this realm. It's because we know who we and what we are, and we still know who and what we are. That's why you guys have nothing on us. You cannot move us. No matter what you do, all of you, all the attempts, you can't get through to us. You can't deceive us.
It's a checkmate. Schachmat. Whatever you do works in our favor. That's the Schachmat. That's reality kicking in. This is reality, not the world of illusion you've been living in for so long. That's busted. So let's talk about
Another connection.
who is this guy?
Another connection to Philip. Well, to the network, really. This guy is an Austrian doctor. What kind of a doctor? Guess what kind of a doctor? Psychologist. Psychologist.
Just so happens that Satanists are ancient psychologists.
Master psychologist. And this guy, he runs an Ayahuasca Retreat center in Peru. In Iquitos in Peru. Okay? And he poses as a shaman. When there's nothing shamanic about this motherfucker. I mean, look at him. His roots are in Austria, which is, I say it's the cradle of Satanism. Okay? He's an educated psychologist. He's educated in psychology. He knows how the psyche works. He knows how to manipulate it. He's gone over to Peru to establish an ayahuasca center, claiming to work with the medicine, inducing people in trances using the medicine, okay, so that he can program them mentally in ceremony. And there are stories about this guy's ceremony, things that happen in this guy's ceremony. People having sex with each other, guys raping vulnerable girls who are under the influence of ayahuasca. What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Who is this guy?
And you want to kick me out of your retreat center, Philip, okay? And invite this guy to come and do ceremonies for you. And you want me to believe and think that all this is not some kind of a sick satanic fucking network. Who do you think you're fooling, man? Who do you think you're fooling? And guess what? This guy has named his ayahuasca retreat in Peru, Otorongo, which means black jaguar medicine. Black jaguar. Mockery to the spirit of the divine royal black jaguar principle, which we embody. We embody.
Go and take a look at the video from yesterday. Why we are tasked to take down psychopaths and megalomaniacs on a power trip in a world that is based on illusion, and we are the medicine to get reality to kick in and to hunt all of you down, every single one of you.
It's called True Power, the name of the video we did yesterday. Go watch it.
We're the embodiment of the black jaguar. hunting all of you down. You think the Black Jaguar is afraid of anyone? We're not afraid of anyone.
Who the hell are you?
We take down your entire network. And this is Dr. Wolfgang Himmelbauer.
Wolfgang Himmelbauer, Austrian psychologist, who runs an ayahuasca center in Iquitos in Peru called Otorongo. Otorongo. Easy to find online, isn't it?
Mm. So let us pull the thread of the network further to who people would recognize in Austria here.
Once again, Philip.
Here we've got Philip, who has nothing to do with public work or
The network.
with he's got nothing to do with wanting to do anything about corona. It's all about him. How is it he suddenly ends up doing an interview 1 or 2 weeks after I did an interview with Dr. Jaroslav Belsky? So I do an interview, and just so happens that in the next interview Philip hops on. Interesting. And when you watch that video, and when you can speak German, you go on Jaroslav Belsky's YouTube channel and just listen to that. It's the embodiment of crap.
What are you talking about?
It's just bollocks. It's unbelievable. Talking about how to go into the forest and calm down and like really ground yourself. Jeez. Pure New Ageism. And he sits there cross-legged. Oh, look how aware I am. This is the perfect embodiment of what fake spirituality looks like.
Yeah.
Right there in that interview. The network extends further. To the left of him, we have a dentist. He runs the biggest dental center. Dentist practice, thank you. In the whole of Austria. In Vienna, who at the beginning of the COVID crisis started to inform the people about the scam. He was even talking about Satanism. He was even talking about, we should question everything, and even if there are reptilians and all that. He was engaged in all sorts of topics, mocking and mimicking what I do.
Because as we always say, guys, these Satanists, okay, they know through their practices how to look into further down into the future timeline of how things are going to proceed. So they implement stuff in accordance. So they know Steve is going to come in further down the line to slay them.
And
it's all about mocking the true ones.
And you see, people would say then, oh, but this guy also talks about Satanism. He can't be controlled opposition. No, the devil's in the detail.
He has no choice but to do it.
How does he talk about Satanism? In what terms? And I'll bet you everything. He doesn't even come close to the way I expose Satanism, to the way Errol exposes Satanism, into the actual mechanics of how the network works and how to take Satanism down. He doesn't talk about it. David Icke doesn't talk about it. The whole net of control opposition doesn't talk about it.
Where is he now talking about it?
Nowhere.
Exactly. Where is any of them now talking about it?
Yeah.
You see? They have to.
His channel went to nothing. He's not uploaded anything on YouTube since the last 6 months. However, it has done its purpose. It served as a net for 18,000 subscribers.
To be misled.
To be misled and down a path of nowhere. It's what we call in Austria a Sackgasse, a road that leads to nowhere.
Yeah, cul-de-sac.
Exactly. No solution, nothing. It's the same modus operandi as can be seen with David Icke's, the Max Egans, the Mark Passius, and get as offended as you like if I pointed out a hero of you. Because guess what? I've been listening to these guys for years. Been listening to Max Egan the last 5 years. Been listening to David Icke since 12 years. So I know what I'm talking about. So the network continues. Let's not humble about and talk about the low level initiates. Let's head right to the top, shall we?
Right. Our friend. Wow.
He was even featured, you can see down here, he was featured on our channel.
Yep.
Activating the Grimmenstein pyramid in Austria. To
Back
the
in
left.
April. This was back in April, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was right after we went to the pyramid in Grimmenstein in Austria to activate that pyramid with probably the loudest high command I've ever done in my life.
We've done louder ones. We've done louder ones. Yeah. Dr. Evil. Pure fucking evil. Francie Fogel. Dreadlock Rasta.
Just so you do not ever connect the dots and come to the conclusion that he is above the Cardinal Schönborn, who everyone knows here in Austria, the representative of the Vatican, of the control structure. This guy to the left here, Mr. Dreadlocks Rastafari, take it easy and smoking a spliff, is the freaking high priest of Satanism.
Yeah, so hold on a minute. The Cardinal here is in charge of the church here in Austria, which is big, right? And Francie is his boss. And we're chilling with this fucker for how many months? Yeah? This is how it works, guys. The church it's the net of Satanism, man. It is Satanism. It's pure evil. The church is there to commit mass rape, murder, genocide, torture, and sacrifice of the purest. That's what the church is. Fuck the church. It's sickness. And this guy, he's sitting on it, man.
Mm-hmm. This is the guy who runs operations.
Bloody
this
hell.
is the highest level. The highest level. And to the right here, we've got our used to be friend Chris. Oh, he's just a young boy. Oh, he still has to learn. No, you inserted Chris as a 19-year-old young guy so he can get away with his immoral behavior when he's part of the network himself. About the one who was closest to us.
Yep. I lived in his hut with him for 2 months, man. Yep.
Busting all of them. So, let's continue on. This is what time it is right now. We're not going to mention any time. The ones involved together with us will know exactly when.
Yeah. Basically, we did a video. I did a video several days ago now called License to Kill. After this video, you may want to go and watch that because this is what we're going to talk about now.
No.
What I talked about in that video. What it means to have a license to kill.
So this is where the Gnostic Investigation is leading us, because we're not just talking about the paedo-satanic criminal network and then let everyone listening just simmer with the information that this network is global, internationally tightly knit, and very well organized, and not offer any solution. We're not pathetic, controlled opposition like many others. We do actually have a solution to all of this.
And we show it. We show the slave publicly like we're doing now. For whomever has the capacity to understand and see what this means. And if anybody doesn't understand, then no longer our problem. We are doing what we're doing and we're showing everyone what we're doing with nothing to hide. Everything else is everybody else's responsibility.
And
This is what we're responsible for.
And who would have thought, when in the Truman Show level of what is shown to us through control opposition and books like The Holy Grail Guy, The Illuminati, The Secret Society, and there's people around that, well, it all leads to one top, and you would never expect it's the guy to the left here.
Who would know?
Who would know?
Nobody would know, unless they have a very, very, very intimate relationship with planetary intelligence, with the mother. Okay? The ones who have this relationship with the mother, with planetary intelligence, with the spirit of the earth, she will tell them who these fuckers are and say, look, I haven't had enough of these bastards. Please slay them.
This is our responsibility in this Gnostic investigation that cannot be done from anyone inside the system. We come from outside the system to take down the top, the very, very top, the boss of the boss of the boss of the boss of the boss.
This is something which is not visible from inside of the physical matrix level of reality. You cannot see it because it's walled off with the Vatican, with the royal bloodlines and the corporations and the mega banking system and the financial cartel. You know, you can't see beyond that. This is why this shit is dealt with in what we call the spiritual, the non-physical. And this is what we do, as spiritual hitmen. Okay? For anybody who still thinks working with medicine, plant medicine, ayahuasca with plant medicine is all about sitting there cross-legged in a retreat center, singing kumbaya, playing the drums, and envisioning colors of light, expecting to be entertained in the form of geometrical patterns by the medicine. That's not medicine work. You're wanking with the medicine. The medicine only projects yourself back to you. It's a mirror for you. If that's what you want, then the medicine looks at you and says to you, okay, then, there you go. Take it then, I'll give you that. If you want to be entertained, here's some entertainment. But if you want to take down the network, and if you want to deal with a problem, then follow me. This is how we do it.
This is what true plant medicine is all about.
This is what true shamanism is all about. And we bring it back. We bring it back.
And this is why this is the Truman Show, trying to show you what it all is about. Oh, you just come and do an ayahuasca retreat and then healing. Because they know that the vibration of the planet is rising, and people who are starting to pierce through the veil and question their reality, the ones who are going to make a difference are going to connect with the plant medicine.
It's a net.
And that's how the network works.
It's a net run by what we call the network of satanic pedophile order. Okay? These centers are pure spiritual masturbation centers, guys. That's what they are. And they ain't fucking cheap. They'll take your 360 euros for one ceremony. They'll say 2 ceremonies back to back. They'll take more than 600 euros for the 2 ceremonies for the weekend. They'll give you half the medicine and you purge. You won't even know what you're purging. You know? You won't even know on what level you're healing because you're given half the medicine so you can't actually see the process. But you feel that you're getting a healing on some level, but not enough, and you don't know what it is. So you're having to come back again, set another date, and pay them another 600 fucking euros. It's a business. And the name of the business is we have to control your rate of spiritual awakening because you're becoming too dangerous for us.
And the net that's spun with the ayahuasca plant medicine retreat centers is the same net on other levels being spun in the alternative media. It's everywhere.
There's a net for everything. They have a net for everyone.
Oh, you're into herbs, herbal medicine.
Yeah.
We have a net for you there too.
Oh, you're into alternative media and you're a truther. Oh, we have a net for you too.
That's how it works, ladies and gentlemen.
This is what we mean, guys, when we talk about controlled opposition and the Ikes and the this and the that, and then you lot can turn around and tell us, oh, but they've done a good job till now. Yeah, it's a part of the fucking net. And this is how it works. They have to give you something which you can believe in to gain your trust, don't they? They have to get some kind of credibility for you to listen to them and respect them, don't they?
And I can say what I'm saying from studying David Icke's work for up to 10 years, 10 to 12 years. And I was in that net too. I busted through that net. And that's why I'm sharing what I'm sharing, because I have the responsibility to share this. So moving on along, the way you deal with this problem with the top of the pyramid is in ceremony. That's why we do ceremony. And that's what the plant medicine is really here for, is to deal with the problem from the root, because you would never ever be able to heal that problem and fix that problem without the co-evolutionary process between the earth and the human being in the form of the medium of ayahuasca and plant medicine as a communication channel.
Exactly.
That's how it works. Co-evolution. We don't, as human beings, we don't have to do it on our own. We have to realize what true intelligence is, and it comes from the plant kingdom.
It comes from the spirits and the principalities of the land. The plant kingdom, the mineral kingdom, which has been here from the very beginning. That's where the wisdom really is, which the plant kingdom comes from, which is the outlet of the mineral kingdom. And as humans, we ingest the plants and we receive teachings and wisdom from the plants, from the spirits of the plants. We connect with the spirits of the plants, and we develop an allyship relationship with the spirits of the plant and the spirits of the land. And we speak in their name with their permission and authority. We're not speaking through our asses, two fucking guys on a power trip here. Just so you all know where we're coming from.
With the true use of plant medicine is for this.
Boom.
This is what we mean when we say we're going for a killing. Because the intelligence that me and Errol are on doesn't require physical killing. I'm not into that. I would never do that. Unless someone attacks me physically, if it just so happens, which can't happen because of the level of protection I'm under, because I have zero signs of any physical violence that I would ever do to any being. However, if my life is in danger, the principle of nature kicks in, and of course you're going to defend yourself to the kill. And we are being invaded by this force, and the ones who stand between this force and the earth is talking and speaking to you right now. When we say we go for the kill, we mean eliminating the principle of evil. This motherfucker, the demiurge,
and his representative agent, high priest.
Here. This is the structure of Satanism. It's a pyramidical, upright pyramidical command and control structure. At the top sits the high priest and connects from the lower fourth dimension, which is where the demiurge resides.
Basically, this high priest is taking his direct instructions from the demiurge himself, from the demonic realm, from the demons, the archons. He's the embodiment, physical embodiment of the demiurge, the archons.
Living on the planet, has to be incarnated on this planet to receive the communication connection of the lower fourth density and bring this information and communication into the third dimension and give the commands to the entire pyramid.
So not only does this guy fuck children, rape and torture them and kill them, drink their blood and eat their flesh in the name of his master, the demiurge, he also controls the rest of them who do.
And the trick is to have this communication channel reach the base of the pyramid. And that pyramid represents all of humanity, every single being on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the biggest problem to this upright pyramid control structure is represented by the principle of the one. If only one at the base of the pyramid does not take the order, I do not comply, I have never given my consent, I will never give my consent, I command, the entire pyramid structure falls apart because of one single human being saying no.
Exactly. So it's not about waking the masses up, is it? Through large demonstrations. Right? And civil war and all this shit. This is the high level. Okay? This is the high level chess game being played, which nobody is aware of, except for the ones who are playing it.
And it's the high priest that connects the principle, the demiurge, to the agents of the matrix. Principle and agents. And an agent can be anyone who does not have the will of the source integrated inside of him or herself.
Any immoral being.
In the form of hacks.
That's why we always say your very protection from this evil force is your moral code and the tightness and the strength of it.
And it's the simplicity, and it's right there embedded in the geometry and mathematics. The upright pyramid put into equilibrium. That's why on our channel you find the equilibrium when the downward pyramid makes the equilibrium with the upright pyramid, which forms the Merkaba.
Beautiful.
That is heart-centered intelligence.
Of the slay cover.
Planetary intelligence, source intelligence.
That's what flushes out all the wrongdoers and the evil. It's like pouring domestos down the toilet on all the germs running for their lives.
So this is what we're doing, guys.
This is our work. This is what we do. This is the only thing we've come to this planet to do, me and Steve. Nothing else. We don't play with ourselves. We don't run around, laughing around, ignoring what's going on. We do the work. And you know what? For me personally, this is the highest aphrodisiac to slay the shit out of these bastards.
Because they're nothing. They're a bluff. All the way they're a bluff. That's why they start putting their Ayavision 22 private, away from the public, because yes, there's someone coming after you.
The black jaguar is coming after you. The dragon is coming after you. With the thunderbird eagle is coming after you too. The powers of the land, we are coming after you.
This is a high command of the earth.
Yeah, for people who say, who the fuck are you guys to claim you are this to do this job and you're doing this? The high command is coming from planetary intelligence of the earth. This is a high command of the earth. So as high commanders and protectors of the earth, obviously we high command too.
I, Stephen Wybrow, as a high command of the highest source and protector of the earth and protector of humanity, I high command all evil must leave the earth now. Full exposure of the entire network, for we are in charge of this realm.
I, Master Kaya, High Commander and Protector of this terrain, I command all archons and evil to reveal and face me now.
In the name of the one and only highest source, the one and only truth, we command freedom for all of humanity in the name of the will of the one and only highest source that is freedom on the basis of the one and only truth that no one can hide from. I invoke that truth to shine throughout all the corners and all of the earth and the entire dimensions. All dimensions! The time is now! We are allowed to say so under the orders of the High Command of the Earth, because I am the law.
We are the law of natural order, natural justice.
We hold your entire matrix control system in our hand. We are the ones who knock. We are in command. We determine the future of our planet.
Your master, the demiurge, doesn't come into our house. We come into his house. Bear that in mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters of humanity, thank you for assisting and helping us for our Earth, our home, our divine natural right to freedom. That time for freedom is now.